The following homebrew sheet was built on vibes and balanced with the power of friendship between 6 players. Flying Nimbus homebrew sheets do their best to provide a balanced and fun experience at the table while remaining accurate to the adapted source material. I hope I can spark some inspiration, and let's roll! In anime, especially ones with a lot of superpowers, there's always one character that doesn't have any. But at the same time, while they don't have any, they are really just physically strong. And for JJK's case, that is Toji Fushiguro. And of course also Maki, but we're talking about Toji in this video. So I decided that, hey, why not just chuck this guy as a boss at my players? I think it'd be a lot of fun. So usually I would go over the stats and stuff, but I'm gonna talk playstyle first. Real quick, you might notice, hey, doesn't have a whole lot of hit points. Hey, his stats are kind of a little bit, maybe not what you were expecting from Toji. But that's because Toji is the final course in a very long ordeal. Just like in the anime, when he was trying to go after Gojo and Geto, I had Toji chuck random mercenaries, monsters, and what have you at the party to try and build up levels of exhaustion. At the very least, just try and get those spell slots and, burn some of that HP out. So that's kind of why his hit points and stuff, or his stats, might not be as crazy. It's because, hey, well, the party is supposed to be kind of like half beaten up and broken down, just like in the anime. So let's get into it. Armor class is 17. That's just a simple dex plus 12. Hit points 135, speed 30. His strength, dex, and con are all 20s. His intelligence is a 16 because he is tactically very smart. Wisdom is a 16. He has good perception. And his charisma is a 10 because he is an asshole. Saving throws are dex, strength, and intelligence. His skills, he has expertise in full rogue inspiration. His expertise is in athletics, acrobatics, stealth, and perception, but he also has sleight of hand and investigation proficiencies. A passive perception of 21 plus C invisibility, we'll get into that later. A proficiency bonus of +4, and of course the El Clasico, a CR, the power of friendship. I gave him 1 legendary resistance just cuz, why not? Assassinate. During his first turn, Toji has advantage on attack rolls against any creature that hasn't taken a turn. Any hit he scores against a surprise creature is a critical hit, just like against Gojo. Heavenly Restriction. Toji has removed all magic from his body via Heavenly Restriction. He gains the following attributes. Toji is constantly under the effect of the non-detection and see invisibility spells, and cannot be targeted by the magic missile. He also has advantage on saving throws against spells. So this is kind of for the whole Heavenly Restriction thing of like cursed users not being able to detect him. How he surprised Gojo with the 6 sides in the first place, and also because he can see curses. Normal humans can't actually see curses, they're invisible, so I decided to just give him, hey, let's give him see invisibility there to kind of give flavoring for that. Sneak attack. Once per turn, the assassin deals an extra 17 5d6 damage when it hits a target with a weapon attack and has advantage on the attack roll or when the target's in the 5 feet of an ally. The assassin is incapacitated. Okay, as you can see, no surprise here, I did base this sheet kind of off the assassin sheet. Yep, that's that. But you guys, I'm sure, can just replace assassin with Toji there. It's the same thing. He just gets the 5d6 sneak attack. Uncanny dodge. When an attacker that Toji can see hits him with an attack or spell attack, he can use his reaction to have the attack's damage. Kind of almost like what he did with the reversal red when Gojo first used it. He blocked it with the inverted spear of heaven. Sorcerer Killer. Toji can use his reaction to a spell being cast to either make a ranged or melee attack on the caster. If the spellcaster is out of his range, he can freely swap to a ranged weapon and make the attack. This will make more sense once we get to his kind of like play style later. Actions. Toji can make 2 weapon attacks. I did not list the usual like, hey, how much damage does a normal attack do, like I have done. That's because it's going to depend on what weapon he's using. So, and we're going to get into that. Bonus actions. Right tool for the job. Toji can swap a weapon in his hand for one in his inventory. This is the inventory curse that he carries. For the sake of simplicity, I just kept this kind of a bag of holding. If you wanted to make it an actual creature with the AC and health points or whatever, feel free to do that. I just, for the sake of keeping things simple, hey, it's basically a bag of holding. Cunning action. Toji can use his bonus action to hide, dash, or disengage. Nothing crazy there. Legendary actions. He has 3 of them. You can swap weapons. He can make an attack, and item usage. Toji can retrieve an item from his inventory and use it. Either these be potions, grenades, etc. I've gone ahead and put his inventory down here. I've gone ahead and only just done the curse tools that he had at his disposal, but of course we've seen him with normal katanas, a normal combat knife. He had just a gun. So like feel free, and he had low level curse spirit. So just feel free to like chuck whatever you want inside that little bag of holding inventory curse that he has. His playstyle is supposed to be him picking the right tool for the job. It's supposed to be about him having a lot of versatility and being able to swap to these unique weapons and different play styles to kind of throw out your party to keep them guessing. So that's kind of how I want to do it, especially if the party has levels of exhaustion, like they should have. So the inventory: Soul Split Katana, melee weapon, martial, damage 1d8 or 1d10, slashing. If they're holding 2, it has +1 to hit and damage. This katana overcomes resistance to slashing damage that includes barbarian rages. On a successful hit, the target must make a DC 15 wisdom saving throw. On a failure, the creature gains a -1 to their AC to this close sword specifically. This penalty is reset after a long rest. The weapon also ignores temporary hit points. If this weapon hits a creature with temporary hit points, their regular hit points are affected instead. This is to kind of emulate the whole, it's supposed to strike at the soul specifically, and like he cuts through like a bunch of like tough hides and stuff. So I wanted to make it kind of emulate that with overcoming the resistances, and also like it doesn't, like it ignores temporary hit points. It just hits the actual hit pool regularly no matter what. Inverted Spear of Heaven, melee weapon, simple, damage 1d6 piercing, properties finesse, light, range, throw, and it's basically a dagger, but it's 1d6 instead of 1d4. Here's where it's not a dagger. This dagger ignores magical bonuses to AC, like shield or mage armor. If a magical shield or spell is protecting a target, like Armor of Agathis, that would deal damage to the wielder on a hit, the wielder suffers no effect from these spells. Concentration checks made as a result of taking damage from this weapon are done with disadvantage. This is a mage killer, for sure. This is for getting rid of that. Also, the wielder suffers no effect from these spells. I feel it could also work on a prismatic wall. If somebody chucks up a prismatic wall and you're trying to break it, it doesn't really say it in the context of this, but you can edit it your own when you download this and make your own sheet off of it. Make the wording so that it breaks through those types of spells as well. That's kind of what the Inverted Spear of Heaven is supposed to do. This is an OP weapon. That's how it's supposed to be. Chain of 1,000 Miles. This thing can't actually exchange, like in the anime, in the manga, yes, if you just hide the other end of the chain, you can extend it however long distance you want. But that to me comes off, especially if the players, it's hard mechanically. Like you can just keep making constant sleight of hand checks, whatever, but like the players aren't gonna be able to really see the other end of the spear. So I just decided, hey, it's a chain that can be attached to a weapon or item with a light property that can be wielded with one hand as an object interaction. This extends the reach of the attached weapon by 60 feet and now requires 2 hands, one for the chain and one to swing it around. So that's all I did, is just exchange it by 60 feet. If you just want to like change the 60 feet to you can just hit whoever, you're gonna run into issues with reach. There's no opportunity attacks are going to be happening. So, and we're gonna get into that for the second. Playful Cloud, melee weapon, martial, 1d6 or 1d8 magical bludgeoning, versatile, requires 16 strength or dexterity to wield. This is kind of to get across that Playful Cloud, depending how strong the user was kind of like how well the weapon handled. A 3-section staff with massive amounts of cursed energy imbued into it. On a successful attack hit, the wielder adds force damage equal to their proficiency bonus. This can be done a number of times equal to the proficiency bonus per short or long rest. But this Chain of 1,000 Miles, so his play style is going to be going after your mages, especially because, you know, they played it right. They're not going to have all their spell slots left. They're going to be tired. This Inverted Spear of Heaven plus the Chain of 1,000 Miles thing is going to be crazy, especially if we go back to Sorcerer Killer here. If the spellcaster is out of his range, yeah, he can just swap to a gun. But if he attaches the Inverted Spear of Heaven to the Chain of 1,000 Miles, his range is now 60 feet. So he can make that attack with 60 feet. There's just the difference is, though, is that if the marshals are kind of locking him down, I think is when he'd probably attach that, because he can't physically get to the spellcasters, because you are trading out, like his threatened range is now 60 feet and he can't make opportunity attacks against basically anybody unless they're moving 60 feet plus away from him. So that's the only downside there. You know, there's plus and minuses to attaching that chain to the Inverted Spear of Heaven, but that's the general play style that he has. Like I said, once again, be sure give him grenades and shit. I had him give like smoke grenades, he had potions, all that. So make sure, like, this fight is supposed to be, hey, the marshals got to really step up for their spellcasters here, while the spellcasters kind of just run for their lives. But yeah, have it in, like, also, like, don't let it be on, like, their turf. Have there be traps that he set up. A lot of things you can do. I feel like the right tool for the job, along with all these 3 different, like, whatever items you want to give, adds a lot of, like, variables to this fight that can make it really, really fun. And of course, hey, if they defeat him, give them these. These are sick. Give your party these awesome weapons. But yeah, that's all I got for that. So have a good one.